I've wanted to do this video for a while. I've kind of held off on doing it for years now. But today there was sort of a moment that was like a straw that broke the camel's back for me. Some of you who are very quick to see new uploads, which might not be anyone based on the way YouTube operates these days, where it doesn't actually tell you when a channel you subscribe to uploads a new video. But for those of you who saw it, we recently put up a video of The Fold where we demonstrate the games in 1-2 switch, and it's part of a two-part episode series, and it's about 40 minutes long, and Nick and I had a lot of fun on The Fold, and we demonstrated half of the games, the mini games in 1-2 switch. I personally feel that it's a great video, and it goes a long ways in showing people how 1-2 switch is actually pretty fun, and unfortunately, the second it was uploaded, Nintendo Content ID claimed it automatically because of two reasons. One was a music track in the game that was picked up, and the other was an audio sample in the game from the Cowboy Quick Fire game where they say, "Ready, fire!" That actually got Content ID claimed. The "Ready, fire" voice sample is something Nintendo actually thought to copyright. Where do I begin? I want to start off by saying this is not a video where I'm going to be attacking Nintendo, really. I'm not going to go about this in like an angry, immature way. I'm going to kind of just speak from the heart. Nintendo, please stop doing this. This is not good for anyone. Nintendo, in case you don't know, Nintendo has been Content ID claiming hundreds of thousands of videos in the last few years, if not maybe over 1 million videos in the last few years. They do this by uploading the soundtrack to their games to YouTube, and they claim ownership to any time that that music is picked up in a video. And YouTube has some sort of automatic system that can detect music and determine what copyright that belongs to, like who the copyright owner is. And so it's happened to me many times. For many, many games, I kind of survived just off of trying to make the music low enough to where you won't hear it. Like when I do a journal for Animal Crossing New Leaf, I try to make the audio lower and I try to make sure that I'm always talking so that my talking will interfere with it. But sometimes it doesn't work, and sometimes journals or reviews or episodes of The Fold will get Content ID claimed. Now what this means is it means that all of the monetization, the ad revenue, the money that I would have gotten for creating that video, instead goes completely to Nintendo. Nintendo will get all the ad revenue that is generated on that video as long as the video is up for many years to come, whatever. The problem here is Nintendo, you don't actually have a legal right to do that all the time. Now, if somebody was just uploading gameplay videos and not commenting over it, not showing themselves playing it, not adding anything of their own to the video, then Nintendo pretty much has the legal right to do that. But when the work is transformative, as it pretty much always is at TheBitBlock, Nintendo doesn't have a legal right to do it. An episode of The Fold is me transforming Nintendo's work into being something else. For example, this episode of The Fold with 1-2 switch. The reason people would enjoy it is because of us playing the game, our silliness, our demonstrating it, the editing of the video. I put a lot of time into episodes of The Fold or a review, and that means it becomes my thing. Nintendo doesn't understand this. Nintendo seems to think that anytime anything of theirs is even remotely used in a video on YouTube, it belongs to Nintendo. This is not legally the case. This is not truthful. I understand Nintendo not wanting people to put a bunch of cutscenes or boss battles or literally the entire game or the entire soundtrack on YouTube. I get that. I can kind of side with them in a way on that. But for stuff that's like a review, or like I said, a demonstration of a game that's very motion controlled themed, like 1-2 switch, then they don't have any legal right to do it because it becomes that person's work. I don't know, it sort of sucks. It's like, I feel as though my livelihood is having fun talking about Nintendo's products on this channel. But Nintendo wants to stop that. And I don't know why, and it's stressful beyond belief. And it's like, Nintendo's job is to make fun video games. My job is to play those video games and have fun with them and cover them. My job is to cover Nintendo's job. But Nintendo sometimes, inadvertently maybe, tries to stop that. I understand Nintendo's not directly targeting me or directly targeting any specific person, but in uploading the damn soundtracks and claiming the legal right to video and stuff, they prohibit so much creativity, and they stop themselves from getting so much free advertisement on YouTube. I know some people will be sarcastic and claim Nintendo doesn't need YouTubers to sell their product. Nintendo has sold their product long before YouTube, and they'll sell their product long after YouTube. But the fact of the matter remains, people love YouTubers. YouTubers collect an audience that really admires them and really appreciates them, and they come to their channel for their personality. YouTube is very much personality driven. So Nintendo needs to realize that. They need to realize that they shouldn't be stealing ad revenue from people who are only existing to try and get people excited about their game. This episode of The Fold with 1-2-Switch, it's us having fun, and it's, I absolutely assure you, going to get people actually kind of interested in 1-2-Switch. I can't tell you how many times over the years, I've been doing this for 10 years, by the way. I've been covering Nintendo, I've been covering your games and your consoles for 10 years now. So I don't know why I wouldn't be considered an ally to you, but apparently I'm not, which kind of hurts, to be honest with you. I mean, it's a bold statement to make, but I think I might be the longest running Nintendo YouTube personality on this damn channel right now, at least active. I started covering Nintendo stuff in 2006, and I even started a little bit in 2005, which is literally the year YouTube started. So I don't understand why it's like, I feel like I'm constantly slapped in the face by Nintendo. It doesn't seem right. And I know, like I said, it's not specifically me, but it's just like, I don't know. Nintendo, please stop doing this. And I mean, of all games to copyright, of all games to upload the soundtrack and video files to, 1-2-Switch? Nintendo, listen, I'm going to share a great secret with you that I would have assumed you knew. 1-2-Switch is the kind of game that will succeed or die based on word of mouth. It is a word of mouth game. It is a viral video kind of a game. It's people being silly and pretending to milk the cows and pretending to be cowboys on camera on YouTube videos that will help it substantially succeed. So by silencing these kind of things on YouTube, it's just hurting yourself. Please, I'm begging you. I know many people have made videos yelling at Nintendo and swearing at them and all this stuff. I'm not trying to do that here. I'm essentially just saying, Nintendo, please stop hurting me. Please stop trying to stop me from celebrating you as a company. And I know that I'm not always going to say good things about Nintendo, but that's me being honest. You can't be mad at me for saying Star Fox Zero is bad. Star Fox Zero, in my opinion, is pretty bad. Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, Chibi Robo Zip Flash, Mario Tennis Ultra Smash. These are all games that I have been against, and I vocally talked about how bad they are, but it doesn't mean that I hate Nintendo, and it doesn't mean that I shouldn't be a viable ally to Nintendo. Like I said, I'm trying to have fun with 1-2-Switch, but I can't do it because Nintendo's stealing the ad revenue. So where do I go from here? Well, now, instead of working on a new episode of The Fold with Fast Star MX and working on the part 2 of the 1-2-Switch episode of The Fold and working on reviews and talking about Zelda and doing tons of other Switch work, I have to go backwards in my schedule. I have to look at that episode of The Fold and I have to almost completely mute the music in the game just so that it won't be flagged, so that I can maybe make a couple $100 on the video that I spent many hours and a lot of my time and energy to put together. So thanks to Nintendo, basically you guys are going to have less Nintendo coverage than you would have this week because I got to go backwards and I got to be really cautious to make sure that they somehow don't get flagged. This is me, again, this is not me yelling at Nintendo or being immature or rude to Nintendo. I want to have a professional relationship with Nintendo. I want to get review codes again. I want Nintendo to be an ally to the BitBlock. But when stuff like this happens, it's so difficult. And I know that it's Nintendo in Japan. I don't think this is Nintendo of America. I think Japan is just really behind the times. Nintendo in Japan doesn't get YouTube. They don't understand what an influence YouTube can have over their sales. You look at some of the biggest YouTubers, they used to cover Nintendo's products, but they don't anymore because they think, well, why am I going to make money for Nintendo? Why put tons of my time and energy into a video where Nintendo is just going to profit completely from it? PewDiePie used to play Wii games. He doesn't anymore, doesn't play any more Nintendo games because he doesn't want to give Nintendo a bunch of free money from them stealing ad revenue. But yeah, I mean, if you look at Nintendo of Japan's YouTube channel, they don't even allow comments on their videos. They seem to lack the understanding that YouTube is a community where people can comment and talk about the video they just watched. Nintendo, I know that... Nintendo of America, here is my final plea to you. Please, it is up to you to try and stop this, because clearly we're not getting through to Nintendo of Japan. So if it truly is Nintendo of Japan, please, Nintendo of America, create a case. Collect all of these videos on YouTube of people complaining. Collect all the comments in support of the people complaining. Show people show Nintendo of Japan how less people on YouTube are talking about their products because of this terrible business practice. It's up to you, Nintendo of America, to stop this. I really feel like that's what it's going to come down to. Because none of us are financially successful enough to take Nintendo to court on this or anything like that. I'm sorry about this video. I know it's probably pretty pointless. I just felt like I really needed to talk out loud about this because I was so excited today to have that video ready. And by the way, like to edit an episode of The Fold for like One Tree Switch, it took me probably like 5 or 6 hours just to edit it. Probably we took about 2 hours to film it. And then to render it, it took about 5 hours. So I can't even have it back up tonight. It's got to go up tomorrow. And hopefully then it doesn't get flagged. Kind of sucks. But you know what? Even though I do need to do it to make a living, I also do it because I love talking about Nintendo games. I love talking with you guys about Nintendo games. So that is what I'm going to keep doing. And eventually, we're going to get Nintendo to see the light, and they're going to stop doing this. And you're going to see so much fun Nintendo coverage on YouTube because Nintendo finally freely allowed it, just like so many other third-party and indie developers already do. Anyways, guys, I know this video wasn't the most entertaining. I meant to have something fun and entertaining for you today. Hopefully, tomorrow I can have that episode up for you. I apologize for taking it down, but I just didn't think it was right for Nintendo to be able to take the ad revenue on that after I spent so much time putting it together. But yeah, I don't know. Leave a comment below and let me know which games TheBitBlock convinced you to buy, because through the years, Nintendo, through the 10 years I've been doing this, I've had probably about 100,000 comments specifically telling me that because of me and because of the video that I created for your product, they went out and they bought it, and they wouldn't have otherwise done that. So hopefully Nintendo realizes that eventually. I love you guys. Nintendo, I love you, even though you apparently don't love me. But we'll work on that. It's a relationship I'm willing to work on. Guys, keep it locked right here for a lot more coverage on all things Nintendo Switch. I'll see you guys later.